What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and today we have a wild ass battle going down. This is one that, in my opinion, is a little more interesting than the conventional Thor battles. Usually, you see him put up against the likes of Superman, and I kind of gave my take on that battle recently, just why I don't really like the matchup. But here, we have something pretty fire. We have Thor, Odin's son, taking on Orion. Now, real quick, if you guys are a fan of the Honest Truth videos, make sure to smash the like button. If you guys want a round 2 of Thor versus Orion after this, we can do their strongest forms versus each other, because they do have a couple of forms that are way stronger than normal. But today we will be looking at their best feats in base, comparing the two, and overall who would win if they clash. If you want to see your favorite characters or concepts on this channel, make sure to join my Discord and hit me up to talk business. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into this matchup. Now, first to discuss is Thor, Odin's son. Thor, being the god of thunder in the Marvel universe, obviously based off the mythology. Thor's divinity has always been special, given that it's beyond dimensions or what the mortals can perceive, as the gods are beyond all bearings of mortality. His inner power has always been extreme, and has even manifested in crazy ways, for example, allowing him to casually yell away extra-dimensional blasts with literally just his own breath. He can battle Hela, who is beyond the concepts of time and space, and sees all of it as one, as well as is one of the many gods of death within the Marvel Universe. Trying to affect and hacks his soul even stunned the likes of classic Doctor Strange, given Thor's inherent godliness. He's easily withstood hellfire from Ghost Rider, going toe-to-toe with Ghost Rider, holding his own, and even saying hellfire and the power granted by the spirits of vengeance is nothing compared to Uru and his power with the hammer. Historically, in terms of going toe-to-toe with a herald like Silver Surfer, Thor's had no problems over the years, literally going toe-to-toe with Surfer, hurting him, damaging him, throwing hands, whatever you want to call it. He's always had no issue with Surfer, who can literally look at universal explosions like a newborn baby and just have interest in it. It was like nothing to him. Yet Thor can casually go toe-to-toe with him. He has even managed to rock Galactus before, the arbiter of power that Surfer gets his from. And Thor, although, he's typically not portrayed as Galactus level, he is portrayed as capable of tangling with him if needed to. Thor himself has actually gone one-on-one and toe-to-toe with another Skyfather before in Zeus and held his own, with Zeus being comparable to Odin. His God Blast, like I mentioned prior, how typically he doesn't scale to Galactus, he still can affect him or battle him. His God Blast, one of his strongest abilities he could possibly use, did indeed, back in the classic era, have Galactus shook and even ran him off the block using this same ability. The storms that Thor is capable of summoning can envelop entire realms and grant power similar to the power level of Mjolnir. Said storms have also had the potency to damage and put down a form of Malekith that was able to withstand and fight other versions and forms of Thor, yet got put down by this storm. His Mjolnir blasts can destroy beings that literally predate the gods themselves. Like I said, being that gods predate time and space, this is pretty impressive. He also has the capability on the high end of taking down low-end Celestials with his own power, and he's been demonstrated to do so before. There's also been implications that the reason Thor's power has waxed and waned over the years, sometimes stronger, sometimes weaker, is that he actually has avatars that go down in form to Earth. So it's possible he's had other avatars just, not be as strong, as we've seen some avatars not even be able to bear power within the realm for long. Thor can also battle and threaten to kill Ego and other Ego level beings like Anti-Ego, these beings being capable of standing up to Galactus. The creator of such beings is also threatened by the power of Thor, which just goes to show how incredibly dangerous Thor is when he needs to be. Thor has also killed gods forged and empowered by the Chaos King. The Chaos King being a being that threatened to consume literally almost all of the Marvel Universe. Quite nearly did so as well, and is an avatar of Oblivion. The same god he went toe-to-toe with was a being made of literally thousands of pantheons. Yet Thor had the power to go toe-to-toe. He proceeded to tear through this being that had more prominence than Nightmare at that point, given we saw Chaos King run down on Nightmare and was like, you're okay, you're not that great. But Glory was someone that was literally like a frontlines general for him. He was also able to somewhat contend with the Void. As you guys remember, back in the day, the Void literally broke every bone in Hulk's body. Like, it's no joke how strong the Void is, yet Thor can damage and go toe-to-toe with it. Mortal powers and divine sparks like those used by Quicksilver, other mutants and such, Thor says is massively below him when he feels like humbling such power, as it's merely a glimpse of what it's like to be a god. And he can also casually one-shot some of the strongest substances in creation like Uru and Uru chains. Overall, Thor is one of the most threatening characters in all of Marvel, given his godly nature, his ability to tap into some of the craziest energy blasts we've ever seen in the comics, his manipulation of storms, lightning, summoning storms from other realms, teleporting, transmutation, power blasts, his own durability, summoning temporal and atemporal storms. All these things he can do makes him one of the most fierce fighters Marvel can produce. But will it be enough for the Dog of War, Orion from DC Comics? Let's get into what Orion brings to the table. Orion is the son of the dreaded new god Darkseid, and due to his the beef between New Genesis and Apocalypse, he was actually traded by his father as kind of a peace treaty. Orion would grow up to manifest his power in the craziest of ways, as the Dog of War became the most prominent and famous fighter to ever come from New Genesis, someone cosmically tied to one day beef with his daddy Darkseid. Now, what's Orion capable of? First of all, a lot of his power comes directly from the Astro Force. Now, what's this force and what's it capable of? The Astro Force is actually tied to the source itself and allows the boy Orion to commit some outlandish feats, right? For example, using his Astro Force, he was able to breach the Void Hound. This same Void Hound, a Justice League roster pretty much struggled to even do anything of remote substance against. Yet the boy Orion could straight up damage it with Astro Force. On top of this, consistently, especially in pre-crisis, post-crisis, Orion was shown to either neg or take down Superman going toe-to-toe with him, and he can alter the Astro Force in its potency and capability. What I mean by that is, it depends on the beef with Superman, right? If he needs to put him down, he's going to use the Astro Force to a much more extreme degree, and do so. If he's just like slightly beefing with him, / doesn't know what's going on, he can pretty much just box with him using the Astro Force, blasting him to slow him down, stun him, stuff like that. It really depends on the nature of the battle and what Orion is trying to accomplish. Orion physically as well, talking about not using the Astro Force in its blast, but actually just brawling, we've seen he can quite literally go toe-to-toe with an all-out Superman. It's quite literally directly stated on panel that both of these going all out, like in a physical one-on-one, both would die. So he's bare minimum equal to all-out Superman in straight-up physical combat. Orion, in terms of speed, can track and keep up with Hermes, the god of speed himself, which is pretty extreme given we know these gods comes from realms that are archetypal in nature. He also, in a 1v1, was able to take on the Firstborn. And this is of damn good significance, because it's stated that the Firstborn, if essentially let loose to do what he wants and go where he wants, it would be the end of everything. You can use this interpretation for universe, multiverse, whatever you want, but regardless, Firstborn's an absolute cosmic heavy hitter that Orion was boxing with no problem. In the New 52 era, while obviously modern day comics don't nearly have as much Orion showings, he still does pop up from time to time. He took no damage brawling with New 52 Superman, and we know New 52 Superman can quite literally break the Phantom Stranger's form both physically and metaphysically, so for him to take no damage brawling with him is pretty crazy. Not to mention, and always important for the likes of Orion, in addition to his Astro Force and his Astro Force belt, he also always has a mother box on him. The mother box is an extra dimensional godlike intellect that speaks to Orion, is able to solve problems literally on an extra dimensional level, analyze situations, break things down, has its own power and defenses. I mean, the mother box is wildly capable. It also allows him to teleport and BFR to absurd degrees across the cosmos. Orion consistently, also just to kind of highlight his speed, has had no issue keeping up with or blitzing Superman, which puts him in one of the highest speed tiers out of all comic characters, as you guys know. In terms of elaborating on the versatility of the Astro Force, while Orion is more of a slugger and likes to just throw energy and throw hands, he also has straight up said that he does command the fundamental forces that govern the universe and how it works, and all of it kind of bends to his will when he's using this power. So yeah, he actually does have a decent amount of versatility if he wants to. Even as a child, Kid Orion was quite literally capable of dropping Steppenwolf, the general of the army of Apocalypse. That's how strong Orion was off rip. Off rip, he didn't want beef with the kid. Like, he was crazy. Orion could also fight off beings that predate even the concept of the gods. Yes, old gods and beings that predate their existence, he can take them on and battle them. Orion was also, in a wild show of strength, able to destroy a device that was stated to only be able to be broken by Darkseid if Darkseid was using all his power. So for Orion to just do that as a flex, it goes to show how strong the son of Darkseid really is. A punch from an annoyed Orion also concussed Captain Atom. Now, depending on how much faith you have in Captain Atom to win a serious fight, you can let me know in the comment section down below. He's kind of a jobber, but he did get dropped by one punch. He's also capable of backhanding Highfather, who we know is capable of wielding the life equation, has also gone toe-to-toe with Darkseid and draws power from the source as well. He's also physically gone toe-to-toe with Darkseid on different occasions with no problem, whether in base or amped forms. He's always been shown to be capable of going toe-to-toe with his own father. He has also been strong enough to actually tear apart or kill Darkseid. As I mentioned before, they have a cosmic, essentially binding pact that one will kill the other. Son will pull up on father. Orion has done so, and sometimes with devastating results. He is actually shown at one point in his classic stories that he's faster than even the boom tubes. That can literally, with a boom tube literally being capable of sending you across all of creation, right, to the God sphere. That's how crazy a boom tube is. Yet he's faster than that. That's insane. He can also keep up with the likes of Light Ray, who can casually dance around a bloodlusted, mind-controlled Superman with no issue. This already puts him to an insane tier for speed. He also, in terms of the mother box, which we already explained, it's tech from the God sphere. It's literally, he's had a mother box explosion in his face, and he survived. Like, no issue. He was fine. Like, they quite literally show him soon after. For him to survive that, take that right to the face is crazy. He can also take blasts from the Black Racer that KO'd Darkseid. Like, we literally see on panel that Orion took the blast that KO'd Darkseid, and he's getting back up. And the Black Racer is extreme himself. So for him to even withstand that, the literal agent of destiny is insane. He is also a god of both war and battle, and which has essentially allowed him access mentally to all forms of combat styles, or whatnot. And it really makes him one of the most capable fighters. His power is that of the source in the way of hope. As long as he does not give up hope, he will always have his power through the source. He's also withstood surprise assaults from Dr. Fate, casually dispelling his power when he tried to blast him. And he, like I said, has a connection to Highfather, and both of them are connected to the source. And his mother box is beyond all science, connected to himself, and it also is stated in one comic to be connected to the source itself as well. He also states himself that he's beyond mortal ideas of heroes and villains. He's just a god. And time in any form is insignificant to him, and he says it should be insignificant to any god of his level. And lastly, he has personally taken down beings who have killed gods before time was even a concept. These beings, like Sirius, have quite literally slaughtered entire gods before, no issue, yet Orion pulled up and handled his business. Overall, Orion, the Dog of War, son of Darkseid, is one of the more formidable fighters within the DC universe. Although we don't get to see him as much, he's an amazing character that, through the power of the Astro Force connected through the source, Orion is one of the strongest characters, most capable characters, and no one really wants smoke with him. So, if Orion and Thor were to clash, who do I think would win? First, smash the like button before we get into the conclusion. If you've made it this far, I had a lot of fun doing this video. Shout out to my guy, Funny Guy, for requesting this from my server. Now, this is an amazing battle because both characters are obviously gods, but they're also the sons of arguably the most famous gods from their verse. They also are prone to battle, are known for being pretty much the best fighters where they're from. It's just a fantastic battle. Who do I favor if they clash? This is where it's one of like the rare times I believe Thor has demonstrated more versatility than his opponent in a versus matchup. Just brings more tools to the table in terms of different attacks and variations you can throw at you. However, I'm just going to be straight up. I think Orion is consistently stronger than Thor. I think he would absolutely put the hands on Thor. In this situation, this battle would be epic because both characters don't know each other. They're not going to be afraid to kill each other, right? But I think Orion would pull the trigger first. That's all I'm saying. Not to mention he's as fast as and has even been able to blitz Superman when he's pissed off. The Astro Force is connected to the source, and he can potentially draw on power that Thor and Base probably just can't withstand. Overall, I think Orion's demonstrated enough for me to say he would win in a random encounter base to base. However, if you guys want to see a rematch, if you want to see their strongest forms versus strongest forms, we can do that. It would be Anti-Life Orion and Soulfire Orion versus Cosmic King Thor and Rune King Thor. If y'all want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know with the like button. Get this to 200 likes. That'd be amazing. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love doing battles like these. Let me know down below what battles you want to see like this, as well as you can hit me up on Discord to purchase battles like this. But anyway, it's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.